This episode is sponsored by the new MS in Business Analytics program at Chapman University's Argyros College of Business and Economics. In just 10 months, this STEM-designated MSBA program will equip you with cutting-edge skills in machine learning, data visualization, cloud infrastructure, and more. You'll not only analyze data, but learn to tell compelling stories that shape the future of business. Located in sunny Southern California, Chapman University offers a unique learning experience at the intersection of tech and creativity, with specialized courses in areas like entertainment and real estate analytics, and access to an extensive alumni network. The MSBA program prepares you to lead in any industry. Are you ready to unlock the power of data and make an impact? Learn more and start your journey today at chapman.edu/MSBA.
Hello, everybody. I'm Henrik Cronqvist, and I'm the Dean of the Argyros College of Business and Economics at Chapman University in Southern California. And today, we're super excited to be able to talk to Jenny Huynh. She's class of 2012, and she's currently working as Global Sustainability Manager for Alo Yoga.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tori Yuen. I'm the class of 2026 with the Argyros College of Business and Economics, and we are so excited to have Jenny here with us today. Let's kick it off with what her position is and what are the most important skills for students to learn within your industry. Jenny, you may take the spotlight.
Well, thanks, Tori. Thanks, Heinrich, for having me. So glad to be back on campus and to be connecting with the community. As Heinrich mentioned, I am the Global Sustainability Manager at Alo Yoga. For those that don't know Alo, this is a Los Angeles-based premium lifestyle brand that specializes in luxury activewear. Our mission is to spread mindful movement, inspire wellness, and create community. And our founders really started this brand because they were really inspired by the transformative power of yoga in their own personal lives, and they really want to bring that yoga feeling to the world. So in my role as sustainability manager, I'm responsible for developing our global sustainability strategy, which really means figuring out how to integrate sustainability into our overall business strategy. This is crucial for our long-term success as a company. And so the projects that I manage really center around our environmental impact, measuring our carbon footprint, our greenhouse gas emissions, setting a baseline around our water, energy, and waste usage, and then going into the people aspect, making sure that we establish traceability in our supply chain, ensuring we're meeting workplace standards when it comes to the health and safety of all of our workers. And then knowing that regulation is really top of mind, ensuring that we're prepared to comply with all of the sustainability reporting requirements that are coming down the line. In terms of your question, Tori, what I would say is the most important skill for business students to learn is, in a field like sustainability, really knowing how to communicate and work well with people that might think differently than you do. I think that sustainability has really evolved over the last 5 to 10 years, where you no longer need to make the case for sustainability as much as you used to. Oftentimes, leadership really understands the importance of sustainability and your long-term growth as a business and in saving our planet. So it's not something that you have to really make the case for as much anymore, but still you will work with a lot of different people across the business. Sustainability cannot be done in a silo, and the journey to sustainability will not happen overnight. So it really requires buy-in from everyone in order to be successful. Sometimes it's really necessary to sacrifice some short-term goals in order to meet your long-term goals. I think working in this field, it's really important to understand what other teams' priorities are and how you should be engaging with them to integrate sustainability into their existing work streams.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. So you're obviously passionate about sustainability. You have been in different roles in that field, in your current role and before that as well. So what about this passion and, where does that come from? And how did a business education, which you pursued here at Chapman, how did that prepare you to work in sustainability?
Yeah, so I actually began my career in accounting, specifically financial audit at a public accounting firm in Irvine, California. This really set a great foundation for me in terms of understanding how businesses operate, what risks they face, how to build effective controls around managing those risks. And I also developed some really important project management skills, like learning how to manage a team, a budget, resources, meeting deadlines. I became obsessed with attention to detail and being organized. So I got a lot of experience working in a team environment and cross-functionally. And I think my education at Chapman and the business school really prepared me well for that career and definitely set me up for success. But I realized after a few years in accounting that it just wasn't where my passions and my strengths were. I was really called to do something that went beyond profit and considered the people and planet. And I realized I spent a lot of my time outside of work volunteering. My strengths really came out when I was able to connect with people on a human level. So after a few years of working in public accounting, I actually spent a few years living and working abroad in Zurich, Switzerland, where it's much more progressive than the US when it comes to sustainability. There's a big focus on reducing waste and conserving natural resources. So it was around this time that I discovered the field of sustainability and social impact. And I realized this was a field that would allow me to combine my passion with my business education, enable me to make a positive impact in the corporate environment that went beyond just profits.
Wow, tons of great things to say. And I am actually really surprised that you jumped from those two things. That goes to show how diverse of a person that you can be and apply your skills. Speaking of diversity, what is your foundation when it comes to work-life balance? What do you do on the outside of just doing Alo Yoga or maybe even exercising within those factors?
Yeah, I think work-life balance can be a really tricky balance to find. I think it's something that a lot of business school graduates struggle with coming out of college. I think especially within the public accounting field, which is where I started my career, there's a notoriety in the industry that you're going to be working long hours, that there's busy seasons, that you're not really going to have much of a work-life balance for the first few years in your career. I think now that I'm about a little over 10 years into my career, I definitely have learned to prioritize family and friends and spending time outside of work, really doing things I love because I've learned that you need to take the time to fill your cup in order to come back to work as the best version of yourself and to be energized. I think it really helps to have a support system of people who will keep you in check and encourage you to rest and take time for yourself. It also really helps to invest in doing activities that'll keep you busy outside of work. For example, one thing I love doing is volunteering. It's a passion that's really carried me through various stages of my life and ultimately helped me better understand myself and where I can best make a difference in this world. So, really taking the time to understand your passions, your interests, and investing that time to devote outside of work.
That's awesome. So when you went to Chapman, then in addition to taking the classes and doing the coursework, what else did you do in order to prepare yourself to enter into? You started with public accounting. Did you participate in some clubs or associations, fraternities? Did you do internships? What did you do to land that first job, which was an amazing one?
Yeah, while I was at Chapman, I really focused heavily on building my network and my skills, mostly related to accounting, knowing this was the field I wanted to go into after graduation. I was involved with our student newspaper, The Panther, first as a staff writer, and then I became the business manager. I also was a part of our first ever student government association. I served as our director of finance. And I was also really involved in our Chapman Accounting Society. So I focused a lot on professional development, coordinating workshops and mock interviews with local accounting firms. During my time at Chapman, I also did 2 accounting internships, and that led me to my first full-time role after graduation as an audit associate at Grant Thornton. And even though I'm no longer in the field of accounting, all of the connections I made throughout my time at Chapman were so important, and they continue to be really important to this day. I've landed roles post-graduation that began through connections I made here or early in my career. And now working at Alo, I use all of the skills I developed in these past roles in my day-to-day role. Sustainability teams are often pretty lean. Some cases, they're just a team of one, but being able to work cross-functionally across the business is so important. And that's something I learned how to do really well through all of my experiences at Chapman.
That's super great to hear. A lot of our world today, especially my generation in itself, really stands with sustainability. So we're so glad to see a place like Alo taking firsthand steps that go with it. So, on to the last thing that I have to ask you is what is one piece of advice that you'd tell a student or even maybe your younger self before leaving a place like Chapman?
Yeah, that's a great question. I was thinking about this, and something that I would really encourage students to take advantage of at this time in your life is to explore your passions and interests, even if they aren't directly related to your career. I mentioned that I spent a lot of my time at Chapman really focusing on the Accounting Society, being involved in business clubs, but I wish I had done a little bit more outside of that. Oftentimes, your career isn't linear. Most of the professionals that I've met that work in sustainability or social impact, they've pivoted into this career from something completely different. And so, something that I was passionate about back in college was writing. And that's why I gave myself the opportunity to join the Panther newspaper as a staff writer. This isn't something I ended up doing as a career, but I used those skills I developed of being able to communicate effectively and tell a story accurately day to day in my role now. So I would say try not to stay in a silo while you're here because you never know where that one interesting class you take for a semester might take you. And yeah, just keep an open mind and really explore those passions.
Wow, what a great! I think that's a great way to finish up and wrap up our interview for today. We have been talking to Jenny Huynh. She's class of 2012 from Chapman, and she is a global sustainability manager at Alo Yoga. And she has had an amazing career in sustainability, but she started in public accounting. Actually, it's been really great to listen to your story, and we wish you all the success and looking forward to keeping in touch with you and follow your future successes as well. Thank you so much today.
Thank you so much for having me.